breaking down Avalanche here. Okay, so all the cryptos have been on a little bit of a bullish push upwards. So let's check this out and see if we can maybe manage a trade. So I can see there's an area of liquidity resistance. Prices kind of just touched here. Sold off a tiny bit. Now today pushing up again, but seems to be selling off a little bit. So I do think that this might be temporary bullish. I mean, it is below the moving average, the daily moving average, so it's technically bearish, but it has crossed over this 4-hour moving average. So, but it is just selling off a little bit now. So I think what we might get is a bit of a pullback here, and then in order for price to break this zone. So because this area is so significant, it's going to need all the buyers possible. So my favorite area is the 50% 618. That is where price loves to go to. So, and you can see if we drag this across, price has respected this area before, here, now here, and and then you get this big bearish engulfing candle here. So that kind of tells me that this segment of price might be done moving up for now, and it might be pushing back downwards and just simply retracing in order to get bought up and head higher. So a couple things we need to look at. So other time frames, you got higher highs, higher lows, you can see. So like that is obviously nice textbook bull structure. You can see it kind of shifting. It hasn't completely shifted yet, but it has created a new low, so versus this one. So we'll see if this is the new high, and if it creates another new low, then we'll know that that's where price is heading. So ideally price would come back down and hit this 50% 618 zone and reject this 4-hour moving average. That would be nice. That would tell us that it really does want to continue upwards. But as far as like ranges, because we have to figure this out too, ranges are huge. So if this has already moved its normal amount, then that makes sense for it to sell off. This says it moves about $1.50 every week. This week it's only moved 94 cents, so it does still have some range there. Last week was $1.44, week before it was $1.20. So yeah, it definitely still has a bit of range this week. So we still have 4 days left on this week technically, because it's all the way up to Sunday. So there's a chance we still get a push through this zone. I mean, if this trend is really strong, what could happen is price just simply comes down to the 38.2 here and continues up. And we don't know if this is retracing yet. We technically haven't even gotten a bearish engulfing candle on the daily, only the 4 hours. So this is really just a baby bear candle. There's no engulfing yet. So we'll see if this actually starts pulling back yet. But this would be my zone that I would like for price to come down to. You can just see it's been respected here. So I'd like it to come down to about 974, between 974 and 948, and then we could schedule in some buys. So the first thing, I mean, it's a major zone here. I wonder if on the daily we can get a better look at this. No, not really. So what we kind of got to do is figure out, price loves whole numbers, so that means I do too. So $11 is kind of our best bet for whole numbers. You can see price, tested here, tested. So 11 is going to be our target. It's about middle of the zone. So I'd be looking for a buy position to that level, right at $11. That's kind of our first bet, because we don't even know if this is technically bullish yet. I mean, it's still way below this moving average. We just know that there's a little bit of temporary bull momentum. It's been bull days since Thursday, October 19th. So that's it's an entire week now. So just straight bulls pretty much. So might continue through the zone. It might pull back a little bit. I would wait for this pullback, because then we know. So as long as price comes back down and rejects this area, we can put our stop below this moving average, because that'll protect us. And then obviously if any wicks come through this zone, we keep our stop right below all those wicks as well. And then we target this $11, because we don't know if it's going to even break this zone. We don't know if it's bullish, if it's going to continue higher. We just know that there's a chance that we have some bullish momentum, and it's it's above the 4-hour moving average, and it might push up and hit this $11 mark. So after 11 we don't really know yet, so we just got to take it day by day. But we'd be looking for a pullback to this area. Even like, I would say let's see if we can mark something in here so it's more clear. Even like 950. Oh, it's all the way at the bottom here. So I mean, it could come down to the 618 as well, so that would be ideal too. And then really, like, this whole trade here is roughly $1.50 from here to here. So, and again, this moves $1.50 per week. So what could happen here is this might just pull back for the rest of this week. Might come up a little bit higher and then pull back. So you know, it might just do this first, might actually pull up a little bit higher, then pull back. We don't know yet. It's kind of indecisive now. It's kind of flattening out and consolidating a little bit last couple days. But yeah, definitely wait for this pullback. If it comes down to this zone, then you look for that buy position. You try to get at least 2 to 1. I like 3 to 1 for these cryptos. But I'll drag this along so we can see. So right now we're sitting at about 265 risk to reward. But again, you can cinch that stop up. You know, as long as you catch all the wicks, wherever these wicks end up at, once price comes into this area, wherever those wicks end up, just make sure your stop's a little bit below those, just in case there's a liquidity grab. I mean, but for, you know, basic you know, risk to reward setup here, you know, if you look at like getting in at even at like 960 kind of mid zone, and then out at 925, profit at 11. And you're laughing, you know. And if this is next week, so let's just say we'll move this over to Monday at like, we could start it at I think the new week starts Sunday at 6 o'clock. So actually this is the start of next week, and then you just go right to next Sunday right there. So this would be like next week's move, which is totally within range, right at $1.50. $1.50 a week. This is what normally moves. So we have the rest of this week to literally just pull down into this area and find those buyers, and then boom, target all the way up, back up to $11. And then, I mean, if it makes sense, if price blows right into this zone, then we could extend it. You know, there's no sense. You don't have to take profits at 11. You can hold it if we got that bull momentum, and if it breaks this zone, because this zone's pretty major, right? So if it breaks this area, and I mean, if it breaks and holds above this area, so something like this instead, let's say it breaks above and then, you know, retests it a little bit and holds, you know, then we're laughing, right? Because there's a lot of upside here. If this is truly bullish and it breaks this is a major zone here. So if it breaks this area, right now this is where all the sellers are. But if it breaks this area, then that's where all the buyers become. So then it's going to head much higher. So potentially. So it's kind of what we're waiting to play out. We don't know yet what exactly it's going to do. The best bet is to just wait a little bit, let price come down to this area, because I mean, I wouldn't buy it yet just because this zone is so significant. So if we buy it right now, I mean, there's a chance it hits this zone, completely sells off, bad risk to reward. I mean, you get stopped out. It's just a nightmare, totally unnecessary. So wait for price to come down to this area here. You know, maybe around 950, 960, and look for that buy. So that's my take on Avalanche. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.